here, we're gonna have a great time doing it. So we're gonna wait for our gauge. I got it where I wanted at 35 psi. Now this may be a little high. Good morning, Defiant Jeep. Welcome to another episode. Today we are actually off-site, and what I mean by off-site is we are not in my garage in my house. I actually went to a buddy's house. That's where I am right now. We're going to do a re-gear, and we're going to take advantage of my friend over here with his offer to let me use his place because he's got a lift. You can see the Defiant's already on the rack. It's already stable. We're going to go ahead and finish getting up in the air. Before we do that, we're going to take the wheels off and keep on going. So the first thing we're going to do as we prep our area with all the new parts that we're going to use, we're definitely going to take the diff covers off and drain the oil. And it's a real simple do. In fact, you can catch a video I've posted earlier some months ago on how to do that. Super easy. But let's go ahead and get started. And before I do so, most of you know I am actually not a real tech. Something like this I am not experienced in, so I'm more going to be of a helper today. I'm going to do whatever my friend tells me to do as much as I can help out. So let's hang in there, and we're going to get all this started, and then we'll get on our way. That is a demonstration of all the debris that floats in the carrier housing.
Nice and gooey.
Nice and gooey.
Which is okay.
Yeah. Now, if I did make a mention of this earlier, the drain plugs on the differential housing, they are magnetic, so they will catch all these little items here. Just like the drain plugs on any aftermarket diff cover, they are also magnetic to catch any of the little floaters going around, so it doesn't embed itself and jam any moving mechanical parts. Alrighty folks, where the axle shafts are removed from the differential itself, the differential housing, and the differential cover has been removed and the oil has been drained, we are now ready to go ahead and remove the carrier. Okay, so what I didn't tell you is, this is my buddy Scott. He's one of our Jeep members. Guy's like super cool, very knowledgeable, and he's the one doing most of this work while he guides me on doing what he would like me to do, because for me this is a learning process as well. And yes, I do lecture a lot. You guys know this, especially if you keep on watching my videos. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, so at this point, we are going to take advantage of the actual design of the housing. We got these dimples on each side of the carrier housing itself, and we're going to put on a little spreader, for lack of better terms. It's something a doctor would use to spread out. And we're only going to move it, what, about 20 thousandths, no more than 20 thousandths of an inch. That's just enough to help us remove the carrier from the housing. Alrighty, as you have seen at this point, the actual differential carrier and the ring have been removed. We just need to take out the pinion from the other side, and then this is completely disassembled. Alrighty, the pinion is out. You can see that it's got the bearing pressed onto it, and this is the little crush sleeve on a Dana 44 that it's definitely been in use for a while. But not to fret, we got a new one that we're gonna put on the new pinion. Alrighty, so at this point, we've already removed the drive shaft and taken out the pinion itself. What I did not show you is we were actually inside the garage where we had pressed out the original bearing from the pinion, and that's only just to access the shims. What we're going to do is we measured the thickness of how much shims it was, the thickness there. Right now I measured at 48 thousandths of an inch, so that's going to be our baseline. We're going to use that as a starting point, so that when we install the gears and run the ring and pinion against each other, where the actual contact patch is in a perfect area. If it needs to be adjusted, we'll be able to do so. But at 48 thousandths, which was the factory thickness with the shims, that's our starting point. So let's go in the garage. We're about to start to press all these things in. Whew, yeah, let's go ahead and get to it, man. This is like super exciting, man. We're almost about halfway done on this one. Hopefully we have enough time today to do the front. If not, we're gonna go ahead and continue tomorrow. But doing the front axle, it can be the same process and procedure as we're doing the rear. Regardless that it's a Dana 30 versus a Dana 44, all the steps are gonna be the same. Alrighty, folks, as you noticed that we're going ahead and setting the pinion. What I did not show you was when we were setting the thickness of the shims and whatnot, but the bearing did get pressed on there. and now we're fitting the pinion for the first time and make sure that the depth is correct for the right contact pattern. And we may go through this a couple times and make sure we got it right. At the end of the day, you want to make sure your job is done complete, 100%, and done correctly, so you don't have any failures in the future.
We're not using the press sleeve yet or the seal. Like you said, we'll be taking it in and out times.
Right. Like you said, we're not using the crush sleeve yet. We're still doing our test fitting and make sure everything's done before we use the sleeve to crush it in and finalize this part of the job. Alrighty, folks, so what we're doing right now is we're actually setting the preload on the pinion. We made sure that there's no slack on there and the load is pretty much where we want it to be before we finish it in the crush sleeve and all that other fun stuff. So now here's the other fun part. We're gonna go ahead and tighten up the ring onto the carrier itself, the True Track, and we're gonna fit it in, and then from here, or from that point, we're gonna go ahead and check for a contact pattern to make sure it's where we want it to be. Alrighty, and there you have it. The two of us trying to fight with the carrier to apply 135 foot-pounds on the bolts that retain the ring to the carrier. It's a little hard to do since we don't have a shop or any of the other tools that they may be expected to have in that kind of shop. But we're doing with what we got, but we made it happen. I believe it was 8 or 10 bolts that were applied 135 foot-pounds in the star pattern. It was a successful endeavor, and we're ready to move on to go ahead and install the carrier and the ring to the differential housing. So let's go ahead and keep on chugging along. Alrighty, at this point right here, we're ready to install the races and the bearings for the carrier, and that's what Scott's doing right now. He got the bearings. He took a little bit of oil and rubbed it on all of the needle bearings on the bearing case itself. Make sure they're all well lubricated, at least for installation. He's actually at the press right now. Yeah, he's at the press right now where he's pressing the bearings on the carrier. And when he's done with that, he's going to bring it outside to where we are, so we can go ahead and install that in the housing that's right behind me, that's ready to receive the carrier. Alrighty, so we just checked the actual lash on the ring and pinion. We are within specs. So at this point right here, we're ready to move forward for the yellow paint for the contact patch. We're going to go ahead and measure the contact patch to make sure it's a right type of pattern, that the mark itself is centered on the teeth, on the ring and pinion, not too high, not too low, not too forward, not too back. So long as it's perfect, we're going to go ahead and move forward from there and start to button it up. But right now, this is the stage we're at, the contact patch. Alrighty, folks. Well, we got you here. Everything checked out well. The lashes within tolerance. The contact pattern on the ring and pinion looks perfect. Everything it seems to be according to plan. The way it fell in the first time, we didn't have to do any extra work. At this point right here, we're going to go ahead and remove everything so we can do the what is it we got to do?
The crush sleeve.
Oh, so we're going to remove everything to go ahead and put in the crush sleeve.
And install the seal.
Install the rear pinion seal and then fill it up with fluid, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, and we'll put all back together, put fluid in it, run it in the air, listen for any abnormal noises,
Okay.
and then take it for a drive on fall.
Right on. Alrighty, folks, here we go. Everything's been removed, cleaned, and I guess redone for all the intents and purposes. The crush sleeve is now on the pinion, so we're at the point where we're going to reinstall the pinion with the crush sleeve, torque it down appropriately, and then put the carrier back in and then reassemble the rear end. All right, at this point right here, we are actually installing the rear diff cover. We had to change our angle. It started to rain, so we didn't want to get a lot of our tools and equipment wet. So we had to make do with what we got. So,
wait, dude, it rains in Vegas? What?
Maybe 3 times a year. So, yeah, we're tightening down the bolts right out to the diff cover, and then we're gonna fill it up with oil. Put the wheels on. Let it sit for a minute. Make sure we can get beyond the rain. It's weird. I don't like driving in the rain. I hate to do it. So I'm gonna wait a little while. Alrighty. That being said, let us go ahead and let's just finish bolting down the diff cover and fill it up with oil, and put on the tires. We'll be done momentarily.